Welcome. My name is Peter Strong. I am a professional psychotherapist. I specialize in mindfulness therapy, which I teach online over Skype. I specialize in mindfulness therapy for anxiety disorders, but I also treat depression and PTSD and many other emotional conditions that respond well to mindfulness therapy. In particular, I offer online therapy for people suffering from agoraphobia. So if you're interested in online therapy for your agoraphobia from home, then please email me and ask any questions you may have about this service, and I'll be happy to explain to you how I can help you overcome your agoraphobia using mindfulness therapy. This approach is very effective indeed, especially for anxiety disorders. Basically, what we will do during these sessions is we will learn how to work with your anxiety in a very practical and very focused and very strategic way. That's what makes the difference. So this begins by establishing a routine of exposure challenges. So these are challenges that you can determine for yourself that you want to use to train yourself out of the anxiety habit, if you like. You want to find a whole range of challenges that you can go through one by one and develop more and more confidence and learn how to diffuse that anxiety. So that might be as simple as walking to the end of your driveway, or it could be going into a mall, or some challenge like that. Now, the important thing with exposure challenges like this is that you prepare for them well, that you prepare ahead of time. It is not sufficient to just throw yourself into the challenge and that hope that you will survive and overcome your anxiety. The chances are you will simply re-traumatize yourself and make that anxiety worse. But if you train for it well, then the exposure challenges can become very effective indeed. So I call this mindfulness-based exposure therapy. So if you were going to the mall, for example, you would sit down and meditate on that scenario. You would play it through in the mind like a movie, watching yourself going to the mall with all of the particular triggers that are there, and then you look for any anxiety that gets triggered as you play through this scene. When you find the anxiety, you then consciously build a mindfulness-based relationship with that anxiety. And this is based on compassion and friendliness, and really learning how to comfort that anxiety as if it was like a small child that's coming to you for comfort after being scared by something. So we need to learn to approach our emotions in the same way. We need to see them as being visitors, if you like, that get triggered in the mind that really need our help to help them resolve their anxiety. Technically speaking, you are not anxious. It's the emotion itself that is anxious. So we learn to see it this way. We build this mindfulness-based relationship with the emotion and we help it basically heal so it can overcome its own anxiety. Then we can rehearse further with those triggers, and we can imagine being in the mall and not feel any anxiety because the anxiety has resolved itself. We have given it what it needs to resolve itself by being a friend to the anxiety, if that makes any sense. So we do this in a very detailed, strategic way before we do the challenge. Then we do the challenge, and then after the challenge, we might do another meditation where we replay the scene again, which will now be fresh and will be even more contextualized. And we look for any anxiety that got triggered, and we work with that in the same way. So in this way, we progressively train the anxiety to resolve itself over and over again until basically it doesn't arise. So this is what we mean by a strategic approach. And if you do this in this kind of strategic way, you will see results in a very short time. And most people see quite significant improvements after the first 3 to 4 sessions of this mindfulness-based exposure therapy. So if you'd like to learn more, please go to my website and then contact me by email to schedule a Skype therapy session in which I will go through this process in great detail and help you learn how to build an exposure challenge routine and how to meditate on your anxiety yourself so that you can do this by yourself between sessions. So if you'd like to learn more, please email me. Thank you.